Today is Wednesday. I'm going to keep you updated every single day with everything that's happening in pro wrestling. But today we are talking heavily on AEW because we now know who the mystery debut is expected to be. Also, in addition to that, a CM Punk match has been announced for Dynamite. I'm going to tell you guys why this strategy for AEW is the one that intrigues me the most. Also, we are going to talk about an AEW injury because it is important that everybody kind of has an idea of what is happening. Now, with that being said, if you guys want more videos like this, make sure you click that subscribe button, ring that bell, and get notified. And don't forget to join in on the conversation by using the links in the description. All right, guys, CM Punk is versing Max Caster. Now, as you guys know, I do the Ango show live immediately after Dynamite. I also do it after Raw and NXT and SmackDown and all of these different shows, and I give you guys my opinions on everything that we've seen for the show. Now, weeks ago, I mentioned how AEW putting CM Punk in random singles matches is literally the best thing that they can do until they have a prominent storyline for him. And I still stand by that statement. First of all, Max Caster is one of the rising stars in AEW. Also, in addition to that, CM Punk continues to signal that he is looking for the championship belt. Now, in what way can AEW make CM Punk have meaningful wins, right? Well, he just defeated MJF in a really big feud, and obviously AEW has plans to get back to that at some point, as said by MJF last week. But now CM Punk having these random one-off matches allows him to not only be on television, but it allows him to increase his record. And secondly, it allows people the opportunity to have these big-time matches with CM Punk, which, by the way, will do a lot for Max Caster. There are a lot of people tuning in to watch CM Punk wrestle, and therefore Max Caster being in the ring with CM Punk really allows him to shine. This is the way AEW needs to continue booking CM Punk, because ultimately, until you actually have CM Punk in the title chase, he didn't really have that many matches happening on television. And I don't think you want to use CM Punk on Dark or Elevation to pad his record. So this strategy with CM Punk is amazing, and I can't wait to see what actually happens next. I think Max Caster probably going to drop a sick bar right before he gets into the ring. Can't wait to see what he says. And that's going to overall improve the act, and that's important. I think that's important, and I give a lot of credit to Tony Khan and the company for putting Max Caster in this position, putting CM Punk in this position, and, give them 15, 20 minutes to wrestle. You don't have to do a squash match. You don't have to do any of that. Let these guys get in their time. Let Max Caster show what he can do. Have CM Punk win. I think it's logical. I don't think people will really argue that. And that's the best part about it all. All right, guys, let's talk about an injury report. So we're talking about the Acclaimed, and obviously Max Caster is wrestling tonight on Dynamite. But it appears that Anthony Bowens was injured, and that is why we haven't seen him since early March. Now, with that being said, we don't know the severity of Anthony Bowens' injury, but we know that Anthony Bowens is currently injured. Now, when it comes to injuries, AEW can be somewhat funny about how injuries are announced, if they are at all announced, which is totally fine. I've seen both sides of the argument, and I can totally understand why now they keep this information quiet. I don't know. Like, obviously, with Anthony Bowens, I have talked about it for a long time, suggesting that Anthony Bowens could very well be a singles guy in AEW. But based on the way AEW treats their company in terms of the tag team division, overall, it appears to me that the Acclaimed will probably not be breaking up anytime soon. Once Anthony Bowens can wrestle, we'll probably see him back in some tag team matches. Now, we were obviously talking about Max Caster being in this match against CM Punk. I can't see a reason why Anthony Bowens won't be out there as well, so he should be able to get the rub, which is obviously very important. But as time goes on, I would love to see what AEW's overall plan is for the Acclaimed, because we don't see them in the title picture right now. They do a really good job of getting wins throughout the company. They take a loss when needed, but obviously, I do think these guys, there is something more to these guys, whether it's on a solo basis or as a tag team. I do want to see them get some sort of push in the near future. All right, guys, and for our final story of today's video, we are talking about the surprise debut for the Owen Hart tournament. And by the way, we do got to talk about the Angle show really quickly. This is our schedule. We had some really big shows Monday and Tuesday. Tonight, I'll be live after Dynamite. Thursday, we'll be doing our Supercard of Honor and WrestleMania prediction show. Friday, we'll be talking about Supercard of Honor, Impact, Hall of Fame, all that good stuff. Saturday and Sunday, Stand and Deliver WrestleMania. If you guys want to stop by and support the channel, definitely stop by. We're always having a conversation. We're taking calls live on the show, and I would love to have you all there. Now, with that being said, we're talking about Toni Storm. Guys, this was a very interesting report that came out from Fightful last night. AEW officials are said to have significant interest in Toni Storm, and the interest in her is so strong that several of the talent in the company expect her to sign with the company sooner than later. For what it's worth, Tony Khan has obviously been hyping up this new debut, and based on some of the reports that have come out, we know that there has been a little bit of interest in Ember Moon, aka Athena, but it does appear that Toni Storm is the one that is expected for this slot. Now, obviously, things can change. Obviously, AEW can have different plans, but from the time that Toni Storm requested her release in WWE, from that time till now, we haven't really seen much of Toni Storm. And I think it kind of goes back to what Johnny Gargano said recently when I talked about in my previous video. For a wrestler to be missed, you know, that's what they kind of want, is they want you to miss them. And you know, I think it makes it a bigger deal when you don't see them for a while. And I think with Toni Storm, there's obviously a lot of people interested. You know, Toni Storm fits the AEW formula more than the WWE formula. And as you all know, I have said that AEW needs to sign more women to their roster. This is if this is officially happening tonight, this is one of the biggest signings for their women's division. I think a lot of people forget how big Toni Storm actually is on a international level of wrestling. But also when she came to WWE, I mean, that really showed me that WWE's formula was very, very strict, and there was no loose ends on it. Because when WWE has their own formula and you see a person like Toni Storm who doesn't fit in it, yeah, they're going to put you on TV, but they don't do anything with you. And I expect Toni Storm to be pushed heavily in AEW. And if Tony Khan isn't pushing Toni Storm heavily in AEW, I don't know what the hell I'm missing. Like, I'll be scratching my head trying to figure out why, because I just can't seem to figure it out. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I just don't want Toni Storm to be in the same situation as Ruby Soho. That's really the big thing. And I love Ruby Soho. And I think AEW had started off super hot with Ruby Soho, but sometimes I question, where is Ruby Soho now? So, you know, this is one of those situations where having a debut tonight for the women's division is really good. I think AEW has improved overall with their females in their wrestling show. Now, carry that momentum. Continue that momentum so it doesn't become a problem later on. And I think that is the most important thing. There is a little bit of momentum there. I've been very happy on record with what they've done with Statlander, Red Velvet, and of course Layla Hirsch. You got Jade Cargill doing great things. You got Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa. Yeah, Toni Storm needs to be up there. So let's not forget that. What do you guys think in the comment section down? Drop a comment in the section down below, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching.